Hello, Boris Pravisham here. Welcome back to the Nidd Whitelist server. We're out near the center, so that's the center station there, and that's where it got moved to. Behind in there is all spoilers, so we won't go there, but isn't it great? Nordic Beast, I put an order in with him to make the Postman Pat van. Oh, I can't use the music, unfortunately. I really want to put the theme song in here. But, you can pause right now and go put it on in another tab, in another YouTube tab. Just type Postman Pat theme song. And then just play that on repeat throughout this entire video. And you'll get the effect that I want. I'm intentionally not going to put music on this. So right now, pause this video and go put the Postman Pat theme song on, so that this is it's fitting. I really like the Postman Pat van. So go do that. And welcome back. After pausing, you should definitely have done that. If not, then I'm ashamed. Plus, that seems a little bit weird that I'd say goodbye and then hello straight again. But anyway, so we're going to drive the Postman Pat van. I put an order in on Nordic's. Nordic said that he was going to be making ships for people. So I put an order in. I haven't paid for it yet, so I have to go find out what he wants for it. There's Sal. We're about to go do some building, so I'll head down there and join her. Yeah, I put an order in. Where Nordic's... Oh, I alt-tabbed. Where's Nordic? I don't have my stuff on. Anyway, yeah, he said that he was going to make some ships for people in his little... what's he call it? The shipyard that he's got. For his... I didn't put my... Oh, yes I did. Never mind. Yeah, so I ordered the Postman Pat van. I also believe, for a little bit extra, I'm going to get him to program the autopilot so that this ship automatically flies up to the post office, docks, and then flies back down to my base and docks, so that whatever like if I want to go and collect something, I can set up my connector at the post office. If you don't know what the post office is, it's in the Merry Friends series. We're building a post office up at the center point there. Everyone will have their own connector, so I can set my connector up to like as soon as it connects to just unload everything into this ship, and then it will come back down and deliver to my base. And of course, if you see it on this server, the rule is that you have to pause the video and go put the theme song on, because I'm not allowed to, but you are, so I expect that of you. If you see this little red ship, go put the theme song on. But anyway, I'm just going to get set up and get Sal into a call, and then we'll continue on with the conveyor system. We're now here inside where the refineries were that I showed last time, and Sal's here. Hello, Sal.
Hello.
You're in the blue ship, right?
Yeah.
There you are, yeah. I didn't know if I was looking at you or not.
Sorry. I was just staying comfortable.
Yep. These stairs here, that's what happens when I think about doing something sort of remotely complicated, like a conveyor system. And then I decide, no, I'd rather do something aesthetic, so I did that instead. So the conveyor system hasn't really progressed, which is why Sal's here, to make sure that I do it. Because that's what you want. You want storage containers.
Yeah. Yeah. I hadn't realised quite how desperate I was for storage containers, actually, until recently.
Yeah, and if you don't force me, I'll keep building, erections on buildings and stuff. So we need storage containers.
Yeah, because we are quite wealthy, but our wealth is all up there in the sky, in exposed storage containers. So we just need to hide it from the NPCs.
Yeah, because we're right in range for those ships. They fly past every now and then. Mm-hmm. Do you know how these effectiveness and productivity modules work?
I do.
Because I saw them in an update video a little while ago, and then I just found them in the G menu again, and all I knew is that you connect them to stuff, and it makes them better, so I just added them all over the back of everything.
Oh, okay, hang on, let me come see then. I was going to say come and have a look at my big ship, because I've got them on the big ship.
Oh.
Do you want to see a demonstration, or shall I just fix what you've done?
I guess the demonstration can't hurt.
You might have done it right, I don't know. Oops. Right, let's...
I see
yeah, it would be
there.
good to weld some of that stuff up, because we're getting a bit of frame stuff over here. Okay, so what you want is 4 of the... hang on, let me remember which one. The effectiveness modules, and only the effectiveness modules on the refineries. So that means that you get more material out of your raw ore than if you just refined it alone. So if we put platinum ore in here, you would get 200% more refined platinum than if we stick it in the ugly barry.
Okay, and that's useful for bragging. So
no, it's useful because that way you don't need quite so much raw material to end up with the same amount of efficiency.
That's not my job. I'm guessing I might not have a housemate for long.
Right, okay, this one may be of more interest to you then. If you come and have a look at these assemblers over here.
Yep.
Here we have the productivity modules. Now, the effectiveness modules don't do anything on assemblers, just the productivities. That means that they make stuff faster. And if you stand assemblers end on end, you can actually get 4 of them. You put the assemblers vertical and the modules horizontal, crossing 2 assemblers. But it only works where they're side by side.
Yep.
But of course, you don't lose anything by not having the maximum. Unlike with the refiners, where you do, if your job is to mine stuff and get resources.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so what I've done is I've put the productivity and the effectiveness on a refinery instead of just both of them on the one. Right. I just thought I'd hedge my bets. One of them worked, so...
Let's go change that, because they do both work on the refinery. It just means it will refine faster, but it will refine less.
Yeah, and we don't really need them to be fast. So effectiveness, remove the productivity. Right. They're just in 2 rows. So productivity, effectiveness, productivity, effectiveness.
Okay. I have them on my toolbar already.
I just realised Nordic named the Postman Pat van wrong.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I'm going to have to change that. So,
for my viewers, look at that! Isn't that spectacular? Post office van.
It's right now it's the best thing on the server. And I'll share that with all because everyone should be able to use it. And name changed. That's better. And I hope everyone is still playing the theme song.
Oh, we have to have it looped the entire time?
Yep.
Gosh.
That YouTube doesn't have that built in, do they? You can't loop automatically.
Yes, you can.
I don't know. I don't watch YouTube.
Except my videos, of course, Boris.
Yes, of course.
Very good. Oh, damn, I've just put that in the wrong place. I'm not quite as good as you at working without my hood up yet, but I'm getting there.
And these ones? No, these are... Oh no, they're productivity. Oh, hang on. I was supposed to put effectiveness, wasn't I? I just put productivity back down.
Yeah, effectiveness goes on the refineries. Productivity on the assemblers.
Okay, I don't have the assemblers set up yet.
Okay. So the assemblers are less important and the productivity is less important.
But I guess with plenty of assemblers in cooperative mode and the productivity on them, it might be feasible to have things constantly disassembled then. So that way, I don't know, the one thing that I really get annoyed with when building things is, which is why I tend to scaffold everything, is just not knowing what you need for each thing. So having to count out, exactly this and exactly that.
Yeah.
It's very fiddly. It would be nice to have an inventory update, something. Because I've seen other games do it. I can't think of any examples at the moment, but so if you click what you want, then it'll just pull exactly what you want out of the inventory. So you don't have to sit there and count out, 16 of these and 8 of these, and then try and multiply in your head by the amount that you want. So that's kind of why I wanted to disassemble everything. So that way I click what I want and then it appears in the cargo container.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. Yes. Yeah, because my little grabber pack thing that my system that I'd developed, which you were so disparaging of the other day when you looked inside the Ugly Barry's cargo and said, "It's a mess, I'm sorry."
Well, I need to go there now anyway, so I'll show it. Well, I think you moved it back, didn't you?
No, I haven't touched it.
Oh, there.
I did say that, I don't mind. You're welcome to, because when I set that up, you only had a handful of things in there, and I'd been dumping all kinds of. There was ores and It was in a real mess, a proper mess. So, so I thought, well, I'd best tidy this up because if Boris sees this, he's going to kick me out. So I thought I'd best do something about tidying it up. So I just arranged it into my system, which, because the first time that Anubis saw one of my cargo containers in its disorganized state, where I had sort of little handfuls of things, but completely disorganized, he went into a sort of twitch. We were streaming, and his screen started shaking because his mouse was twitching. And I thought, Boris isn't going to like this. I best fix it before he comes on board. So I just sort of organised it a bit. But it does mean that you can go in there and you grab sort of a handful of plates and a handful of construction components, and you can get usually about 6 or 7 different types of components, and it'll be as many as you need for most things. That's sort of just my way of handling that situation.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I do manually, so it makes sense. Like, I sort of carry around 200 steel plates and 200 interior plates with me everywhere.
Yeah.
And a few construction components. That's how I do all the scaffolding.
Okay. I shall just get welding some of this stuff, shall I?
Yeah, why not?
So that way I can, because I'm not as used to working with scaffolding, so I'm not entirely sure I can tell exactly what everything is.
Yep.
And as soon as we've got a little bit of form, because they don't need to be finished, but if I can see what things are, then I've got a better chance of helping out with the conveyor system.
Well, I discovered a good thing with these interior plates, just the interior walls. I've tried to keep what I use them for down because they're the poly count on them's pretty bad, so they're quite laggy. But yeah, they've got this nice cross, like the ones just to your left. I don't know if you'll be able to see them. Yeah, down the middle. If you sort of weld them up, yeah, roughly halfway, they've got this nice cross to them. So I might use that. Maybe it's like a wall decoration every now and then. It's the same with the another aesthetic tip. The catwalks without any railings. If you don't weld them up and just place them, they're just bars, steel bars.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so that's useful for aesthetic things. Is it the Anubis and I actually we spent about, it must have been about half an hour when we should have been recording something, because we sort of stumbled across the the fact that there's sort of 3 times as many models in the game as you think there are, because each model has the various different build stages. Yeah. And the scaffoldings sometimes look all right, so you can use them for aesthetic builds rather than building them all the way. Right. I did that on the erection. I can bring that out and show that now, since I'm flying around and not doing anything as I usually do when recording, because I forget that I'm supposed to be building something. I'm just going to wait for it to open up.
Yeah, well, as I've mentioned before, your erection is most magnificent.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I knew that already, but...
But it's always nice to be told.
Yeah.
I may over-weld something here that you didn't really want welding.
Everything in there is just for... Yep.
Okay.
Yes, the air vent, not the air vent, what are they called? I think they're like a window, vertical window, which isn't actually made of glass. That's before they added glass. They added these things. They look like a vent, kind of. But if you weld them halfway, then instead of the vent, they're just these lines, which I occasionally use to look kind of like a flat scaffolding piece. So I wanted a scaffolding look to holding that the erection up, so I only half welded them. The only problem is that you can't colour something that's in a scaffolding phase. So you have to go with grey. And just shut that up.
Okay.
Right, I should be building something.
Okay. I have been mostly just focusing on welding up the refineries, because they're a difficult thing to weld by hand.
Yeah. Yeah, there are lots of pieces, and I think you have to go back a couple of times, even with the huge inventories that we have, the 10 times inventories. We have thought about doing a hardcore series. Anubis and I, like, trying to survive with one by one. Because it completely changes the game, the different settings. Because it's actually hard.
Yeah.
Having to manage everything, and you have to store a lot and do a lot of maths in your head pretty quickly. Which means that we're probably going to be horrible at it. Anubis will be good at it, but I don't know how. He'll probably just banish me to go live by myself.
That was how I played Space Engineers before I started YouTubing.
Yep. Yes, same. Until I realised that for YouTube purposes, it's... Yeah. The reason that... Yeah, that this server's on the 10 by 10 by 10 is simply because if you... Like, this is a YouTubing server, and this part of the reason why we split the public and the YouTubing stuff apart is that if you want a server that's not as... is part of the problem with having too much stuff in a world, like we're quickly going to get in this server, but We'll see if we can manage it well. But it's different with the public server as well, where you'd have someone log in and play for a day, especially on the land of Nidd, which was very kind. Like, there are a lot of very nice people, just no one fighting and stealing. There was a little bit here and there because it was a public server, but compared to other ones, no one would touch anything of anyone else's, which means someone, the sort of person who will sort of stop by for a day and play for a little while and then never come back, it means their 6 hours of work just stay forever. So even if you have a fairly small regular player base, very quickly the server gets overloaded and there's so much stuff just floating around.
Yeah.
But yet part of the way to combat that is to have lower settings so that it takes longer for people to build stuff, and people they, like, in this world, if we crash a ship and we've got a shipbuilding yard like Nordic does, it can take even 30 seconds to rebuild that ship from scratch. But if it's on lower settings, then people cherish their builds a little bit more. It becomes a lot more important to not crash your ship. Of course, without bringing it too far down. But anyway, back to what I was saying. This server's on such high settings because if you, like, for example, that connector that I just built up there, the erection, with these settings, I can say, that'll be done next episode, and be able to do that, like, feasibly have enough time to do that. But if we didn't, then it would drag on for 10 episodes later. I have just placed the connector on top, kind of thing. It becomes a very slow process and quite boring to watch. Same with, like, Merry Friends. If we were on slow settings, then the 3-hour recording session we had would be equivalent to 1 half-hour session on the higher settings. But yeah, we still wanted to try the hardcore version just for something different, to see if we could do it, because we have gotten rather spoiled, especially now when I when we have our little team. You do the stuff that you like doing and I do the stuff that I like doing.
Yeah.
And I never have to actually go out and work. I just get to play with whatever turns up.
Yeah. Well, it's it does work well for me because I could never build anything that looked like this. Every base that I've ever built has looked like a combination between an oil refinery and an oil rig.
If that's the aesthetic you're going for, then
not specifically intentionally. It's just machines piped to machines, all on a flat platform.
Yep, it works.
Yeah, it functions. That's it. I can do that. I can make things function. What are we missing here? Let's see. Metal grid.
I think that will be all for this episode, though. So we'll continue with this, and I might actually do some conveyor work if I stop procrastinating. Because if you look to your left, that's what I've done. I've built a floor.
Oh, so you have, right?
I was supposed to be doing a conveyor system.
Come on, I'll help you with the conveyor system in the next episode.
Yep. So goodbye.
Do you see what I did there?
Yeah. That's a very good link.
Very good. Thank you. Bye bye.